I really hope that we get demos or something at some point, so that actually then we could more easily transfer that data to someone actually wanting to tear the duel apart and try and learn something or be taught something from it. It's a lot easier to learn from your mistakes.
I think it's also like Quake Live versus Quake Champions. Quake Live was out for how many years, and people were established. You know, if you're a person looking to get into a game, you're not going to say, well, you know, I'll try a game that's been out for 5+ years. But with a new game coming out, it's more people more inclined to like jump into it and learn it.
I think definitely people who have a competitive mindset and are like, oh, this could be a game that I can, be good at. Even though there's lots of history to it, I think there's still a lot of room for people who have, especially people who've been in FPS for a long time, they could quite easily get to mid-tier and learn the game and build from that effectively. And I think it could change the landscape of Quake quite a lot.
That's what you need, right? You need a lot of new players. You don't want to see like the same 20 pros playing every tournament. I mean, you kind of do, but you want new blood. You need new blood.
Yeah, and
you need to make the game accessible.
You can definitely get it that way. But we are going to start the winner bracket final in just a moment. I'm going to close this bet now, guys. I didn't even put my bet on. God damn it. It looks like a lot of people favoring Raisy on this one. But we're going to set up in and go in. And excuse the echo for 1 second as I just fix the map scores. As we are on Blood Covenant and checking out Raisy first of all.
So based off the bat was being very patient actually on Galena. He sat there, heard exactly where Raisy was going, so he knows his general path he's going to go to. And actually stagger Mega Health quite a bit. Big, 8-second difference between the two. 7-second difference. I can't do math, especially when I'm casting.
Numbers.
But Raisy's been able to get the rail, most importantly. He hasn't gotten the rocket launcher, which looks like the direction he wants to be going.
I think he's afraid.
Look how slow they're being.
Yeah. Do you want to note that Base is using the same lineup that we saw on Blood Run, the Galena, the Visor, and the Nyx. We're also seeing Visor from Raisy, so I was saying earlier that... Oh my god, that rocket was so bloody close. Saying earlier that Visor could be an effective player on champion on this map, and I think we're seeing that that's definitely possible.
We also showed during the games with Pikawa how good Visor can be here. Just that, be able to hold high ground, being able to just hit those rail shots in very tight locations.
If you can actually hit the rails, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's like 2 in there out of the 50 you shot.
Those rockets were not bad at all, but he got no Ghost Walk, and Base just gets the LG and zaps him down. The stack advantage that Base had there was enormous. If the rockets were better from Raisy, maybe that could have gone differently.
And that Raisy's in a really tough spot. He does get Mega Health, though, and does escape, but he loses the entirety of the Mega Health. And obviously, Base is going to know exactly when that's going to be available, too. So, not looking good for Raisy again. He gets shot out by another rail. 79 HP, he's not going to survive another. He needs armor, he needs something. He finally will be able to collect a little bit of both. We can still see Base just locking down his positions, knowing exactly where he's going.
Yeah, this is super nasty for Raisy at the moment, because he's taken most of the resources off the map now. The biggest items are going to go over to Base. So Raisy, all Raisy wants to do is try and turtle the game out and survive for 30 seconds.
That's what's always so when I was playing in
Duels,
my god, wrecking here.
Actually, that Base has figured out how to do a jump like that is insane. Galena's movement mechanics are slightly skewed right now, and there's going to be a couple of rails that's going to land Base one more kill.
Well, now Raisy's on the back foot, right? Half of the time's already gone. He's got to find 2 frags to just tie things up. And Base has already found exactly where he's going to be here. The Visor's going to be healthy, especially with the Mega Health being picked up here. He might go for the chase, but the totem will be popped down. Another 25 HP, if I'm not mistaken. Picked back up for Base. And these rails he's hitting, it's like he watched what Zoot did, watched what you did the other day, and doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, he just... I inspire a lot of players. It's a shame I don't take the glory. Oh, the rocket! He hasn't got a rail to follow up, but that was a beautiful use of the piercing sight. Still trying to chase on that one. But I think he's kind of like falling into the bait that Base has been setting. He's like, yeah, please do chase me.
He's got the Ghost Walk too, so he's not going to be too afraid, but the piercing sight's going to be up in about 5 seconds time, so Raisy's going to be able to spot him out when he does use it. But Raisy isn't looking as healthy as Base is currently. And he knows exactly where he is. He actually probably could go for the chase here, but I guess he's assuming that Raisy has a little bit more HP than expected, and obviously playing from the high ground here against his armor can be deadly. The rocket's going to be enough to finish him off, and Base, back-to-back rockets, going to close out that first round.
Raisy should definitely have seen that those rockets were heading straight for the armor. He wanted to just cut off the exit to it. And the starting nail gun use is like, I haven't got an LG, so, you know, because I haven't got it, I'm instead going to use the starting nail gun, which is really ineffective at that range. Back on base's point of view, Galena, Mega Slider map.
Sorry, I needed to. Is my mic a little quieter now? Because people are saying it's a little bit too loud.
I can't tell at the moment. I'll review. As we,
well, we can let us know and check. I turned out on my end. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Like I was saying, sorry, second round kicking off. LG coming out of base, doing a lot of damage. Raisy not using that ghost walk, but that was an interesting jump to actually create some distance, but at the same time, trying to do some.
I think it's better now, but I'm not sure, guys. Keep us informed. And,
yeah, put that mic was clipping.
Oh, the ghost walk. Base has seen that. This is a bit of an uncomfortable fight at the moment. Very dangerous for Raisy to be on this end, but Raisy does have the long-range rail advantage for the moment, and that advantage is immediately gone.
I think if Base had that rail there at the time, that might have been a quick kill for him.
Yeah. Raisy
didn't have Ghost Walk there either, and Fadel just coming back out, 50 HP remaining, going for the rockets, and switching to the rail last second. He's got the HP to survive this. He has the Mega picked up, and the quick flick to Raisy's dome will net Base another lead yet again. What
we saw just there was the Raisy bounce pad special. It's something that he's been criticized more and more for as the patches have been coming, and it definitely showed to be ineffective then. Unless he could have landed a rail before Mega came, it was definitely not the best push.
Okay, I'll be right back. I think my mic's messed up. 1 second.
No problem. Whoa. Base receiving a pretty nasty rocket, but his nail gun rail damage has been not bad at all. I think Raisy's just earned himself a high ground position. Is chasing on this one. There's a totem that could come from it, but it's not going to mean anything. Oh my god, that was fractions of a second away. What was the sound doing, guys? Give us a shout on that. If there's something I can do on my end, I'd like to fix it.
I think it's mine. I was actually listening to the stream really quickly.
Whoa.
Hopefully it's better now.
In my ears, it sounded okay, but I don't know if the stream was registering it differently. Base,
I've got like a quote-unquote professional mic, so it should sound better. But either way, we'll see now because I changed some more things. Like you're saying, sorry, 2-0 for Base. A nice little trade kill at the end onto Raisy. But Raisy hasn't been as aggressive against Base. I mean, obviously the map might not kind of pertain or allow you to do something like that, but considering his match versus agents, definitely a change in style.
I'm surprised to see Base making Galena so effective over here. I wasn't sure that Galena would be super strong on Blood Covenant. But,
I mean, the jump you can do with the crouch, like, has been ridiculous. I didn't even, like, recognize it until I saw someone on stream play, and I'm like, why the hell are you getting, like, 600 movement speed with this? It's insane how fast you can get around and how many jumps you can make now. I
have heard that it's also not something deliberate, so I suspect that's going to get changed. So I don't know if it's hotfix kind of change, but I think if people are using that and incorporating it into their strategy a lot, they're probably going to get heartbroken in a couple of weeks' time when it finally goes.
You even saw right there when he actually rocket jumped up. Like, he didn't even use the crouch jump at the beginning. He crouched like halfway through while in the air, and it gave him that extra momentum and extra speed he needed to make the jump work. Either way, I actually like it. I like that little kind of change. So I think there's a little bit of skill to it to keep the speed going through the entire time and jumping.
It actually does. You do have to like mishmash the keys together quite strangely. Good initial rocket over here by Raisy. He destroys the totem through the fight, but he's not able to stay on the mid platform. Still a fight that he can consider his to have won.
Oh, they go right into each other though.
That looked so good for Raisy at the beginning. He got the first rocket that was perfect, but he missed the follow-up, and Base was absolutely on point with his aim. So I think Raisy's going to feel a little bit ripped off in that one.
Base is still on the chase here, knowing he's still going to have like a slight advantage. The piercing sight was used by Raisy. Maybe try to keep his distance from Base so he can look for some sort of opportunity to stack back up. Which is when they pick up some guns, because as far as I know, he doesn't have rockets, doesn't have rail. He only has basically LG and the nail gun to work with here, which is going to be very difficult to do against someone like Base, and not to mention how tanky he is at the moment.
This movement thing is actually making Galena super powerful here on Blood Covenant, so something I'd just judged at the beginning, I think. would certainly change the effect later on. There's 2 good rails from base. Looking for more. Raisy did just take the armor. That's 4 rails in a row now for base.
And he still wants to chase too. You can see, I mean, he's able to keep up with how fast Raisy's moving around the map. I say fast, I know it's visor, but look at that jump he just did with the platform.
It's just absurd, isn't it?
It's insane. And he hits another rail. He's looking for the last follow-up to close out for another kill. And I think Raisy knows he's in trouble.
Yeah, base just doesn't stop hitting rails. This is something he used to do a lot in Quake Live, actually. He just was endless shots landing.
Honestly, I'm becoming like a really big fan of camping weapons when you know they don't have them. I don't know why. Oh, base.
It's really annoying to deal with, actually. If you're not a sort of expert at Duel, it can be very frustrating because you're trying to, like, I want the rocket launcher, but every time I go for it, I'm either dying or losing my stack or something like that. It's actually a really good strategy to use, I think, at any level of Duel where you can frustrate your opponent.
I think, I mean, with what you can get sacked, even if you let someone, I mean, again, I'm very new to the game still, so I could be completely wrong. But it feels like you can let armor and health go as long as you camp like the rail and play long range, you camp rockets, and you can technically still beat them with just a couple of nicely placed shots. I feel like someone who has the better aim can almost win out on those trades, even without like the stack advantage, as long as you have the weapon advantage.
Yeah. Well, if you get those initial fights, if you get the initial shots landed, then absolutely, there's no reason why with a stacked disadvantage you can't win them. It's kind of just, yeah, making sure that you have the information first and can dictate the pace of that fight. Have to finish that first map was absolutely dominating for base. I suspect we're going to go over to Corrupted Keep now, which will be Raisy's map pick, which it indeed is. But yeah, that Galena on Blood Covenant, yeah, a little bit good right now, I've got to say.
I'm not sure if it gets much better for Raisy here as we move on to Corrupted Keep. I would imagine Galena is still going to be just as good in this position as well. Get around the map really quickly. You can block off a lot of teleporters, a lot of pickups. You can cover a lot of angles with the totems if you can get them down. And not to mention there's a lot of, I guess, time shards in some key positions to allow you to keep these totems up.
It's actually just enough time shards to be really useful for a Galena, to be fair. If someone's got a super long cooldown, then you'd probably want a few more on the map. But we'll see. We've got Raisy, who is going to be using Galena. We're going to also base. What's the third pick? We had Clutch earlier from Raisy. He's not using it now. He's got Sorlag. I think with Galena on this map, or if you're going up against the Galena, it's a small map. It's compact. No rail. You need to close the distance and shut down the Galena fast before they can really set up those strategic totem points that can, like, destroy you a little bit later in the round. And then you can worry about the next champion. But otherwise, you're setting up yourself for a bad day. And Raisy really needs to show that base is, you know, not king of the hill here.
I think what's kind of going to be frustrating for these Galena versus Galena fights is the same thing you see like Nyx v Nyx. It's knowing like the other person's cooldown on their active ability, whether it's Ghost Walk or Unholy Totem. Because if you pop the totem down, you get what, an extra 25 HP, but you also get the ability to block out on damage against you. So if you throw that down mid-fight, it gives you such a major advantage versus someone who doesn't have that ability up just yet.
I really like that you just used the actual name for the ability, which I have never used, and they've now reminded me nicely. Guys, the winner bracket final map 2 has begun. It's base versus Raisy. Base is a map up, a very convincing map up. And he's on his Galena to start things off with. A very standard LG totem is going to get placed early on.
So base is in a little bit of a rough spot, actually. It seems. He only has the LG and pretty much the heavy machine gun plus 6 rockets to use in this position. But I think Raisy actually just backed up a little bit.
Raisy's going to want to get himself a nail gun as well. It's going to help him out quite a lot. Heavy. Easy pickup for base. And Raisy's going to deal with that token very nicely. LG hurting a lot. Ghost Walk to be used or not, alternatively. Turned out to be a lot easier than it should have been. LG once again. The acid spit comes out. Rockets are missing. The machine gun chase right now. Can Raisy get out of here? He's going to find a couple of health doubles up the bounce pad. and skips away. You think you can do it, Galena? I can too.
But he's still applying the pressure though. No HP left. Doesn't want to get teleported to go to the teleporter there or get caught out, I guess. And that should be a closeout. No,
Wow.
Raisy turns this one around. That had to have been a direct rocket.
That was actually unreal from Raisy. He was like pegging it for such a long time and managed to pick up all the resources just before base could get in range to do the damage. And eventually that all caught up to base as he overcommitted.
So base will be able to pick up the... Oh, he's going to pick up both. Are you kidding me? Did Raisy just give up both?
I think he had to. He was so weak. He couldn't do a thing, really. He's going to find another armor. He really would like to at least fill up his natural health stack. But I like what Raisy's doing at the moment. He's cherishing his health and armor. And he's not playing anything too risky. It's almost kind of unlike him. And the Ghost Walk's gone. I mean, it's good right now for Raisy.
Base is gonna have the read on the pickup, but he's taking a lot of damage from that. So taken away. He has no Ghost Walk to escape, and Raisy, he gets the kill. So like you were saying, the patience is paying off for him there.
Now this is actually today the best I've seen from Raisy. He's really, knowing now that I'm going up against pace. I've got to think very carefully about every move that I'm making. Let's do this properly. That was perfect, and especially against someone like Base, a good counter.
Base down to one champion. It's up one map, but he doesn't have the speed, I guess, to catch up to Raisy if Raisy does get the ability to escape or chase down on him. But he's definitely got the health pool. 190 HP, if I can use my words right. And he's got the armor. He's played it very carefully, too. Very slow. And has been able to spot him out. That's that early bit of damage. And of course, Raisy got a lot of cover to play with here.
He's got an awesome stack. I'd like to see Raisy now trying to defend this mega health. He should have the timing for it. It's up in 3 seconds. Using the acid spit first, that's going to hurt a lot. He gets it in the end, but he's lost so much in that encounter. And the LG, not good. That was an overcommitment from Raisy and a perfect punishment from Base.
So Galena versus Visor. I honestly don't remember the last time I've ever seen this matchup.
It's definitely a January patch special. we could have more of them coming up, actually. But I like it. I really enjoy the mid sort of champion meta. I think if we can see more of that, I think that's perfect for the game too. Oh, Raisy couldn't land his last rocket, which is going to allow Base to get round 1. So much good work done by Raisy, but a couple of mistakes, and you can see that's the round gone for him.
Let me ask you something, Zoot. I think I already know your answer. Don't you miss seeing Anarchy?
No. Definitely not. Although, actually, we saw a game between Petchka and Sepp at the beginning of the tournament, and Petchka picked Anarchy. And I actually enjoyed watching Anarchy during that game, because it just wasn't the same shit. You know what I mean?
But does it have 100 HP?
75 health, 50 armor max, and actually requiring a decent level of skill to get even anything done with Anarchy now.
Makes me sad. That was my go-to. Him and Sorlag. Change up to like Galena. Oh well. One day Anarchy will be back.
I don't think Anarchy's gone. He probably is gone from Duel, but he's definitely not gone from team modes. And if CTF comes, he's absolutely going to be viable. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Unless you just want him for Duel, in which case, tough shit.
Well, that was a nice little play by Raisy there. Playing that very passive, very slow. Actually, oh my lord, what was that, Raisy?
What?
Did he ghost? No, he just teleported in behind him.
Wait, I don't...
Or did he ghost walk?
Raisy ghost walk. I think he ghost walked into it, and he triggered the totem with his ghost walk, and then landed a direct rocket. So that was pretty sick from Raisy. He's gonna find him now. LG, this should be an easy kill for someone with Raisy's aim, but he's got... Oh no! Raisy, he got out-aimed in the LG, and he was so upset by that he killed himself with the rockets. I don't know if the two were necessarily linked.
You were half right. I mean, he had the aim and got the kill. It just wasn't on the right person.
That was a blunder. Things just aren't going right. Like, the planets are aligning for Base.
Well, no, Base is... He got the ghost walk, but he's also kind of trapped at the same time. for his way out. Just pick up some armor, just pick some distance most importantly, and the difference between the two major pickups isn't that big to be able to secure both of them. It looks like there's gonna be a big fight here on the armor. Basically, they're just gonna trade away saying, all right, you can have armor, I'm going for mega health. At least have this advantage to play with here, and maybe a little bit of a positional advantage, unless Raisy does just that, comes straight to the door.
Oh, he's tired of his shit right now. He just wants to go in and like, look, I've got a bigger stack. I know you just took mega, but there is no way I'm letting you win this fight or survive any longer. I'd be a bit more careful now.
I got the bigger stack. I'm gonna hit you with it. Let's compare our own stacks. I don't know. Maybe I'm really thinking wrong in my mind.
That's alright. We know you and love you for that, that's fine. Oh, there's got to be a round for Raisy! It's still not a round for Raisy. Acid Spit, LG, anything.
He could do this. I mean, you get his fate with a shotgun, and Base could easily pick up this quick kill.
He's going to get impatient. I can feel he's going to get impatient and go through.
Oh, Raisy. I think Raisy should back away from this
one.
one.
No, why did you do it? Why? You knew the likelihood of that happening was so goddamn high, and you did it anyway.
He heard the piercing sight, so he knew it was there. He knew he could see where it was going.
He has actually just picked up both big items, so if Base manages to win a fight now, actually I won't do a forfeit, possibly third.
I mean, it is Base.
Yeah, anything could happen. It's got to be right next to him. There we go. Raisy, he's on the board. He's got a round.
Wait, you can't hear piercing sight anymore? I thought you could hear it.
No, you can't hear it now.
Close enough.
No.
Oh, really? I thought you could hear it if you're close enough still.
Well, you can see it on their face, like it's like a white mask goes over his face, but you can't hear it at all as an enemy.
They learned.
I can't remember when that came about. I think that was in like a November patch, possibly.
Really? Well, actually, the last time I played Geyser.
Raisy's going in with a nail gun. Oh, he gets it too. Yeah, Raisy is like, let's bring it back. Let's take this over to QuakeCon Corrupted Keepstar.
Did he win ESWC?
He won Denver. He came third at ESWC.
Okay. Well, he's looking in pretty good form today, I'd have to say. Like I said, it's winter bracket finals, if I'm not mistaken. He's got Ghost Swap coming up. You've already seen him use it aggressively once. And he has the opportunity to use it yet again with Base already using that piercing sight. But Base has been able to stack up. He's got his rocket launcher, he's got the LG, and he's got that HP to work with here. And he's been able to spot him out most importantly, and immediately Raisy says, I don't want this fight. He backs away. And now he's trapped yet again.
Nice. Good LG damage while he had the angle. And he took... It was pretty much free damage, actually, so that was solid. And it's actually quite an interesting battle of resources on just the time shards between the two of them, because they both are quite dependent on their ability in certain instances.
Raisy has, let's say, like half a second since Ghost Walk is up, but he got to make a health in time, so he's fine. And Base actually really fresh to see how quick he's able to move around the map. The Gauntlet came out.
What?
Got one tick of damage in there.
Oh my
Raisy's
god.
gotta be careful, but so does Base. Base has 9 HP left. They both are backing away. We're actually choosing to force this fight. It's only a minute 30 into this round. But Raisy's been able to stack back up a lot quicker than Base. He's only on 30 HP, finally able to get back up to 59, but he's still gonna be chased down, and he's got his piercing sight up. He's gonna use it. And that means he knows he's gonna be safe now to get healthy.
Alright, both of them have been able to secure their own big item, which somewhat benefits Base more, but he's used his piercing sight also. I wonder if Raisy can guess that.
Base kind of wants to go for the chase here. Try to play this one very careful. Should know Raisy has the Ghost Walk up, and Raisy has to be careful to use it in time. He's gonna be aggressive with it. No piercing side, and Raisy's not gonna go for the duel immediately. She just backs back down. The makeup's gonna be up. He gets it in time, and now Base is going for the chase.
Oh my god.
And they're gonna trade kills.
So, I think Raisy won't be too upset with that, because it means he's only got one champion left to kill. But it is Base's from this Nyx that he's got to go up against. And yeah, going through that, not a good idea. LG's still not up yet. He goes in with the pummel. LG versus, and that was actually so close to being a kill for Base. 25 health and 10 armor left for Raisy then. But he's 2-1 up. There is a chance we could go over to a tiebreaker map in this winner bracket final.
I think it could happen. Honestly, my butt cheeks were so clenched there for Base, pulling out the Gauntlet, trying to be able to pick him up like that. He did get a couple of, cheeky hits in there, but obviously not going to be enough against the Sorlag. Could be back to Galena versus Nyx. Base going to be on the Galena, has a mega health. Both of them actually getting the exact same time on the pickups here. But imagine we're not going to see too much action until the next round goes at the health and armor.
I love the resource denial on the map too. It's a good bit of LG just then. We've got another totem coming out. Oh, the nail gun comes in. How much health does he have left? 20. Jesus. This looks really bad for Raisy at the moment. He's going to get himself the Mega. That nail gun's going to hurt a lot. One thing that Solag's really suffering against is that weapon. Raisy can't even go for those health.
Ooh, Raisy. Yeah, luckily you can hear Base, so he's going to be fine for now. But Base doesn't have that much HP to work with. And does have a nice split, a decent split on the 2 pickups. But can he actually... Oh, he's going to have to contest this, right? He's going to have to contest this, and Raisy's going to need to pick this one up. But I don't even think Raisy has the opportunity to secure it. He actually just backs away, and now Base with the double stacks coming in. I don't know how Raisy's going to find his way back into this, especially on Corrupted Keep when you don't have the rail to play from distance. Yeah,
Raisy's going to be suffering for a moment. He's going to be relying on getting a entry rocket into the next fight. Base knows exactly where Raisy is because he can hear and see his totems just disappearing around the map. Heavy's going to be up. This is a nice angle for Base though. It kind of cuts off Raisy a little bit. I think Raisy's going to have a guess that he can get himself through the armor now. He's taken so much damage though. He's not even going to be able to get across to it. That item was available. Bad move from Raisy.
Oh, and actually might not be over just yet. Galena versus Galena. He doesn't have a totem up, so he can't heal, but Raisy will at least take one back. But in the last engagement, I was actually curious, because if Raisy knew when armor was picked up, Base gave him an opportunity to just trade one each. You know, he'd pick up health and Raisy pick up armor, but instead he didn't have the timing on it, so he got forced into a really bad position trying to challenge all that mega health. And now it's turning into this one. Raisy trying to force the fight again here onto the visor. Base just with the tracking on the LG gets the kill. And now ties things up to 2 apiece on our second map. That's
absolutely madness to go for. I know the nail gun's powerful right now, but there's no way you can rely on it. Not like you can with the lightning gun. That was a kind of an all-for-nothing play for Raisy. Even though he was using the totem as a shield as well, I mean, he was trying to use every single trick he could think of. It just wasn't the time or the place to go for that.
Curious why Raisy's actually not going for the Galena off the bat. Maybe he's not as comfortable as Base is.
Yeah. Maybe. So I think Galena's good at the beginning because you have to take the initial time at the start to get a weapons and an item, so you can already start planning what you're going to do with totems. But it doesn't seem to be something that Raisy's initially concerned with.
Yeah, the LG coming in, Raisy getting aggressive with the Ghost Walk. Not able to catch Base up this time like he did previously over towards heavy armor. Those rockets and the prediction shots out of Base are insane. He knows there's no Ghost Walk, and that's Raisy already losing nicks off the bat here. Base is really just putting his foot down now.
This is tough. Raisy can't make mistakes anymore. He's going to run into a lot of LG. He's so nearly dead, and there's so much health left for Base. Going for the 2-0 here in the winner bracket final. Only Galena stands between him and that success.
And that's exactly where he is too. He's still got the pickups. He's gonna go for armor as well, just to put a nail in the coffin, knowing that Raisy can't challenge out here. There's no way Raisy can go for this. He doesn't have even the... Actually, he does have rockets now. But he didn't have nearly the weaponry he needed to even have some sort of potential to contest that. And now I feel like he's trapped.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely is. What I want to see Raisy do is just try and take his time a little bit. Don't try and rush something too much. He tries to go for like a projectile totem. The thing is, he can no longer use that to heal himself. This is an impossible situation. Mega's gone too. He's trying to get out. He somehow does, but survival seems so limited.
And that totem he threw out, that was very questionable. Ends up getting a little bit of hope there because it wasn't destroyed.
Silver lining.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of silver lining there for him.
I'm actually amazed that Raisy's alive still. If you can turn this around, it would be godlike from him. Mega's up in a second.
Totem. It's the second time that totem's healed him. I don't know. Base hasn't actually taken it out yet. That's extra 50 HP he got, and obviously it's really questionable whether or not it would work initially, but has actually paid dividends here so far. Has another totem up and ready. Has 2 for himself, where Base has 3 down. But I think Raisy's actually not killing the totems, trying to maybe indirectly deny vision.
I think this is like defense of the totems right now, because They seem to be setting up. Base has got the heavy side, arranged of totems. Raisy's largely got the mega side. Oh, he's in trouble still. Totem comes out on the floor. There's one like halfway up the wall. This is weird.
Could be the god totem if Raisy just accidentally falls into it and dies.
God, if this ends in a totem kill, I'll cry. But it very well could, so...
You see Raise there, like he actually was right next to one of the totems, and instead of destroying it, he just leaves it up.
Oh no, Raisy. Oh, that he still hasn't got a stack, and that Mega's not up for a second. He's gonna try and jump at it. He does make it in time. 29 health left. Base is gonna get an emergency totem out. Raisy walks into one, almost walks into another. GG. Base gets the 2-0 on Raisy in the winner bracket final. But I'm left actually very excited and hope we get another series versus them in the grand final.
The totems just MVP there. You just thing is, like, when you're in that kind of high pressure situation and you're like running for your life, obviously you need to be looking where you're going, but you're more focused on like where they are behind you and if you could dodge shots and what's your next move, and that totem could just catch you off guard. And 100 damage it does now. That's
it's
nothing
actually
to scoff at. Even if you're Galena, that's most of your HP.
Even if 75, to be honest, I think that's an awkward place to put a totem. It's like in the doorway to the armor. So if you're trying to plus back towards the armor, you might not go to the armor spot because that's where you expect the totems to be. But the gateway into it while you're facing the opponent, I mean, I think it's kind of a smart place to put a totem at the same time, irrespective of like the amount of damage it would do. But obviously the damage is one of the big reasons he got owned there.
And I was actually watching the replay back really quickly on your stream.
Mm-hmm.
He as he was going around the corner to get towards heavy, he did a 180 turn to see where base was going to be, and because he did that, he walked into it without noticing it was there.
Yeah, it's just ouch. That was a good little setup, and I enjoy the Galena versus Galena fight. That was really cool to see. I'm amazed that Raisy survived so long. It was actually. We've seen a lot of Galena versus Galenas that just end within 5 seconds, but that was a lot of fun. I'm going to conclude that bet. So well done to actually there are quite fairly few people who bet on base going 2-0. You guys did a good job there. We will see base later. What the hell has been happening in the lower
Ins versus
bracket?
Agent. Ins won 3-2. Agent won 1-0. I don't know why it's 3-2.
Round base. So I guess they did the
okay.
round score between Ins and Neutrino and the map score, Agent versus Pikawa.
Okay, so it's Ins versus Agent. The loser bracket semifinals will be the winner of that versus Raisy, winner of that versus base.
We're actually nearly at the end already, to be honest. This has been a very quick